And I say, here we are, y'all. Daily Go Getimism Show, Pretty Petty Tuesday, all up in your area. Last day of February. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you? I am. Yeah, we got a little something that we need to talk about tonight. We got a little something that we need to talk about tonight. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are talking about. And what did you say when they said what they said about me? And what did you say when you heard them talking greasy about me? Yo, when you heard them talking bad about me, when you heard them throwing dirt on my name, you said you were there, right? Well, what did you say? Did you just stay silent and say, did you just collect the information because you were scared to say something back to them? Because it happens. Or did you say, wait, whoa. You can't talk like that about my peoples. It's gonna be a problem for you if you do, and I'm not trying to hear that. Okay. But this is a common thing. This is a common thing. Somebody comes back to you and tells you that such and such was talking about you. Such and such had this to say about you. Now, it's actually a form of instigating. It's actually a form of instigating. Because there are some people that you probably shouldn't go back and tell what somebody else said, because the likelihood that there's going to be some pushback, that there's going to be a fight, that there's going to be an altercation, that there's going to be a confrontation is extremely high. So sometimes if you want things to settle down, cool down, or not escalate to a certain level, you probably should keep your big mouth shut. But since you went out of the way to tell somebody what somebody else was saying about them in a bad way, well, what was your role in it? What was your role in it? What did you say when they were saying what they were saying about me? What did you say to them? Were they actually talking to you, or were they talking around you? Did they know that you are a friend to me, or do they think that you just know me? Maybe they don't know how you know me at all. Because it could have been a situation where somebody actually wanted you to go back and tell somebody else what somebody was saying about you. So what do we do in those situations, y'all? And what did you say when they said what they said about me? What did you do? How did you handle that situation? Shoot, sometimes this can be a situation where the messenger gets shot. They say don't shoot the messenger. But if the messenger is delivering the message, but the messenger was there when the message was given, mm, yeah. What made them say that around you? And what made you stay tight-lipped about it? Now, we're gonna have to back this thing up, put it into proper perspective, and be fair about the situation, because at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, and in the middle of the day, while we living out this day, we have to ask ourselves what the obligation of our friends, loved ones, peoples is, are, whatever, to defend us against other people. What is their obligation? Is there an obligation for them to do that at all? Like, just because me and you cool, does that mean that if somebody else says something about you, does that mean that I have to defend you? What if I agree? What if they were saying things about you that I know to be true? So yeah, they were talking about you, but it was kind of like public knowledge. It was kind of like stating the obvious. Do I defend you anyway? Do I say something like, well, yeah, he does this or she does that. That's true. But a lot of people do that and this and a whole lot worse. Why you don't have nothing to say about them? Why does such and such have to be on blast? And since they're not here to defend themselves, why are you talking like that? Is there some kind of beef? Is there an obligation for our people to do that? Because it might be. It might be somebody's obligation. What about your friends? Will they let you down? Will they be around to the end? It's sort of like that situation, and it also can be a situation where our expectations of other people may be a little more lofty than what they might be obligated to do. I mean, we're all grown men and grown women. It might not be somebody else's fight or somebody else's obligation to speak on our behalf. Maybe it is somebody else's courtesy to deliver the message, and we do whatever we do with the message. Y'all know how I do. We're gonna try to look at all four corners of this thing. We're gonna try to go all around the spectrum and make sure that we get all of the colors. It is what it is. It's the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. Matter of fact, let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun752, and this your the Daily Go Getimism Show. We do this every single day, every day it rains, every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun752, aka Omar, with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Getimism Show, all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show, we are asking the question, and what did you say to them when they were saying what they said about me? What did you say? What did you say? Do our friends have an obligation to defend us when we're not around, when somebody else is tearing us down? Do our family members have the obligation to defend us when we aren't around and somebody else is talking down to us? I think I'm having a little allergy thing going on. I know my lip feels funny, but I also know I didn't do nothing to my lip. And this thing is it's starting to concern me. Let me see what we doing over here. What we doing, y'all? What we doing? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I don't see nothing, but I feel something. You ever do that? You ever feel something on your lip? My people who suffer from allergies. You ever feel like a hive or wart or some type of skin irritation going on? You know what I mean? Due to something dealing with your allergies, but and you might be able to feel it. It might itch or something like that, but nobody else can see. They like, I don't know what you're talking about. Ain't nothing wrong with you. And you're like, but look, I hear. Okay. So what is our people's obligation to defend us, y'all? Is there any obligation for us? I mean, for them to defend us at all? Is it? Well, it might be. It might be because we've all experienced somebody hanging around us all the time, all up in our area all the time, riding in our cars, chilling in our cribs, talking on our phones, eating at our restaurants, coming over our, cohorting and fraternizing with our family, kids, and all of that kind of stuff. So we're not just casual friends. We're not high and by types of friends. But you mean to tell me when you heard somebody talking bad about me, you just sat there and listened, but you gonna come back to me and deliver me the message? Are you doing it so we can go back and go back and confront both of them? Or are you see, I don't want to get into calling anybody a scaredy cat or a coward or even putting on them the obligation that they have to defend me. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it like this because I'm going to say it how we would be feeling it. When you defend somebody, you put your name, you put your life, you put your love, you put your feelings, and you put your allegiance on the line. So when you don't do that, what are you saying? Because maybe you don't have an allegiance. But you can't not have an allegiance and have an allegiance at the same goddamn time. You can't hang around with somebody all day, every day, on a regular basis. Not a casual friend. Like I said, somebody whose ride you ride in. Somebody who splits a hoagie with you or a cheesesteak. Those aren't the type of people that you can act like, well, we cool, but we ain't all like. No, yes, y'all are. Yes, y'all are. Yes, y'all are. Y'all damn near drinking from the same 40 bottle and y'all passing around the same blunts. I got your damn saliva on my lips from that blunt. You nasty blunt smoking motherfucker. I don't even like smoking behind you. I got to smoke on my fingers because you nasty, got all that spit on the blunt. I feel like I done kissed you in the mouth, you nasty ass nigga. Heard that you lick ass. I don't want to be smoking a blunt behind no ass licking ass nigga. But you was my nigga. I ain't gonna front. You was my nigga. Oh, freak ass nigga. Yeah. You can't not have an allegiance, but then claim an allegiance, when it's good for you. But when it's time to go to war, or at least make the declaration of that, or when it's time to go to battle, now you want to be like, well, I mean, I'm saying, man, I can't really afford to be, putting my health on the line. You know what I'm saying? I just got diagnosed with diabetes. Got high blood pressure, man. My left arm be tingling. It be tingling. You feel it? I guess you wouldn't be able to feel it. You feel it? It be tingling. It be tingling. And my 17-year-old, just about to be 18-year-old daughter is having a prime send-off in May. I can't sacrifice this, so I can't be, can't be. See, people come with a whole boatload of excuses. They come with a wheelbarrow full of excuses for not stepping up to the plate. But you want to come back to me and tell me that somebody else was hating? If you're gonna be neutral, be neutral. But you can't be on the team and be neutral at the same time. You can't be on the same team and be neutral at the same time. We got some shit that we got to talk about tonight. For real. You know why we got some shit that we got to talk about tonight? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. First, I'm going to read your comments, and then I'm going to tell you why. Hopefully, I don't lose my train of thought because I've been known to do that. Now, y'all might be saying, well, maybe you should say what you need to say, then read the comments. So I'm going to do that. This is what I want to say before I start reading y'all comments. Those of us who are on social media, we see people defend celebrities, politicians, and all these motherfuckers that they ain't never met, shook hands with, broke bread with, ate with, rode in the car with. They don't know them. But they will tell you that, yo, Kanye is doing this, and Kanye is a star, and Kanye is a hero, and Kanye is a god. Donald Trump done more for black people than anybody else has done. And Donald Trump ain't this, and Donald Trump ain't that, but Donald Trump is this, and Donald Trump is that. Do you know Donald Trump? No. Ever met him? No. Ever been around him? No. Have you been within 10 feet of him? No, no, no. Oh, okay. But you making statuses, getting into back and forths, waving flags. You got what those lawn, those things that people put on their lawn, like like Biden and Harris, Biden and Harris 2024. You know them lawn things, the things you stick in the lawn, whatever they call. We call them lawn posters, lawn whatever, bumper stickers, all of that. You support them to the fullest, and none of them have you ever met or are directly doing anything for you. But you stick up for them. You defend their character. You don't even know them like that. You defending people's character online all day, every day that you don't know. But you mean to tell me that you can defend somebody's character? You speaking up for their mannerisms and their thought processes like you've been around them. But you mean to tell me that your boy, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister, your neighbors, your co-workers, your classmates that you have been in pizza parties with, lounge socials, get-togethers, you've held the door for some of them. You've been in elevators with some of them, shared pleasantries with plenty of them, but you wouldn't speak up for them to save your life. Talking about, well, I don't really know them like that, so you know Joe Biden like that? Because I sure did see you talking good about him, talking about all the things he would do, that he want to do, and all of that. Did he tell you that? Oh, you got that off MSNBC, CNN, Fox, someone showing it? Oh, okay. Oh. But your peoples, your brothers, you don't really know them like that. I mean, I wouldn't call him my brother. I mean, we cool. We hung out a few times, but I don't. Oh, well, yeah. I wanted to get that part out because to me, that's the meat and potatoes of the shit. I see people on social media defend people all day, every day, like they know them. I ain't never seen people. I seen more people defend Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, who was the bull? Fucking the bull who did the kneel down, Colin Kaepernick. Defending them. You boycotted the NFL for Colin Kaepernick? And he was a fraud. He was a fraud. But you riding, taking actions. And anybody who had something bad to say about Colin Kaepernick, you was getting in violent arguments. You was deleting people off of your page. You was calling people coon. You was using nigga with the ER, the hard ER at the end. Yet, when you heard somebody talking about your coworker, the ones that you cool with in the next cubicle, when you heard somebody in the lounge or the break room or maybe even off the job saying, getting all into the details of what they think they relationships or they marriages are, you just sat there like, you ain't had nothing to say. Yeah, well, I heard the boy beat on his wife. You've been around him and his wife. Seem to be a happily married couple. You know, if she was a victim of abuse, she's playing it off pretty well. She wasn't jumpy or looked like she was harboring a secret. You know, she was cordial. Like, hey, you might even been over their house, pet their dogs, cuddle with their cat. Goddamn. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we talking about tonight on the daily, the daily go get a Mism show. You know what? We have a caller on the line. Only problem is my peoples on YouTube will not be able to hear the caller on the line. Wait a minute. All right. So, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Let's read these comments. Let me see what y'all talking about. See what y'all talking about. Mia Cunningham. She says, if you my people, I'm not going to sit around while folks talking greasy about you. I'm obligated to my friends like that. Even if it is true, it's the context in which it was said. I hear that. I could dig that. Carol co-signs that too. Mia also says, my circle is the same way. No one can come to me about you in a negative way because I'm going to stop you so we can get them so there's no confusion. And you can say what you need to say. Mia says there is definitely an obligation. Interesting. Carol says, sounds like some cowardly excuse. Yeah, I don't know them like that. So, I mean, I'm saying. Mia says, exactly. What the hell your daughter's prom got to do with your loyalty? He can't afford to get locked up, get into a violent situation, lose his job or nothing. I got a baby on the way. I can't. Listen. You Bloods, you Crips, you Latin Kings, you Vice Lords, you Gangster Disciples, you Black Spades. I can't get locked up right now. I got a baby on the way. I'm about to stop gangbanging. I got to get a job. If y'all were really my gangster brothers, y'all would understand. Gang family just don't understand anymore. You know, like Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince. Gangsters just don't understand. Hey, yo, why you ain't ride? You ain't riding? Man, they just smoked your goddamn cousin, and you don't want to ride. I'm saying, my cousin wasn't no saint. All right. Carol says associate versus friend. She said there's a difference. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Mia says folks like the idea of what they think certain people stand for. Don't necessarily mean those folks stand by the stuff that they preach. They just know it ignites fire inside of them. But here's my thing. As far as people talking and defending people on social media, they be talking like they really know them, Mia. They not talking like they not man. That Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, people was talking for them like they knew them. I had to a few times. I had to be like, "Are you sure?" Because I can understand defending somebody's actions, but when you start defending somebody's thoughts, you gotta know somebody, be around somebody in order to know what they think. You don't know that. You don't have no way of knowing that. But you doing this for people that you don't know, ain't never been around, ain't never met. You know what I mean? You reaching for the stars and clout chasing. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yet you want to play both sides of the fence in your personal life. You want to play both sides. Well, like, I mean, I don't want this side to start warring with this side because this person says something. And I mean, he says something about the bull, but it wasn't that deep. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't that deep. Okay. If it wasn't that deep, then you could report it. And you did report it, but you didn't defend. Well, I'm like, I don't really know either one of them like all of that. But you hang around either one of them like that. There comes a time when you have to take a side. But look, that ain't really what this is all about. We talking about friend to friend, people to people, family to family, person to person. What is our friends, associates, lovers, families' obligation to defend us when we are not around to defend ourselves? When somebody tries to assassinate our character and your peoples are around, are they supposed to shut it down? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm asking about. That's what I'm asking about. What y'all got for me? What y'all got for me? Man, I've had situations with people that I thought I was cool with. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've always been a little wary, leery of people who just seem to be cool with everybody. I mean, I guess it's a good position for them. They on some ambassador shit. They just cool with everybody. They down with everybody. Everybody seems to like them. They seem to like everybody. You hardly ever see them talk bad about anybody. And that shouldn't make them suspect. Some people are friendly like that. Some people are gregarious like that. Some people have those laws of attraction going on like that. But with those people, you don't really know where you stand. And that's the problem. That's why people who be trying to declare people they best friend, oh yeah, that's my best buddy. How long y'all been cool like that? Like for the last year? Oh, okay, that's your best friend. Hmm. Well, now damn, that's your best friend. Well, now damn, glory be, glory, glory be. Stacy White, what's going on? How you feeling? T. Carey Wright, what's good? But yeah, like I don't know. So I've always looked at people who are cool with everybody like they're a little suspect, but that might not be fair. And I do acknowledge that might not be fair because the same way that it might not be fair for me to oblige you to take up for me. It might not be fair to judge you unfairly because you cool with people that I might not be cool with, or that you haven't declared your allegiance. You haven't pledged allegiance to anybody's flag of friendship. So Carol said, look, Carol ain't waving. She's wavering. She said, hell yeah, they supposed to. Like, don't try to let everybody off the hook. Yes, yeah, 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 yeah. I got your back. You better not let me hear that you ain't have my back. Let them talk all greasy about me, having people who don't know me already forming a negative opinion about me because of these suckers. Nah, son. Nah. I understand though. I do. I totally understand. Mia says, I've had associates shut stuff down on my behalf. have even broke bread, have even broke bread on personal on a personal level, but they haven't even broke bread on a personal level, but they've deaded situations. Right. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm only asking if we should expect that. Like, do we start a fight with the person who came to deliver us the message? Or do we just thank them for what happened? And I've been in these situations enough times. I hate when people put me in the middle. Um, but I've definitely been in the middle of warring factions to the point where I had to share some information, and I had to withhold other information. Case in point. All right. Picture it. Year 2007. We doing comedy heavy. And at this time, I was actually under management. So this cat, a popular comedian in the city, was he had a manager, and his manager was picking us up. So they was giving us shows, we was making money, and we was going on this tour. Now, one of the dudes I knew now, man, mind you, I've only known any of these cats from doing comedy. I never saw any of them, knew any of them, or any of that stuff before we started doing comedy. I started doing comedy. I stepped on stage for the first time July 17, 2002. Now, this is the beginning of 2007. We was on this tour. And one of the guys that I knew, he was the actual one booking some of these tour dates and some of these venues. So even though he was young in the comedy game, he was using his contacts and getting these shows. So his feelings on the situation was that well, shoot, if I'm getting the shows and the promoters or whatever, I should be getting more money. That was how he was looking at it. I should be getting more money, and maybe I should be farther up on the lineup. And I didn't disagree with that. I didn't disagree with that. However, the way that the tour was set up was that the one who was the headliner was supposed to be headlining the shows. All right. So my man and the headliner weren't getting along very well. You know how it is. Niggas who don't know each other can't seem to get it together. You know how it is. Crabs in a barrel, no unity. The whole thing was going down. To make a long story short, we was about to do this show in let's call it Dorney Park. Yeah. We were doing this show in Dorney Park. Yeah. And the headliner of the show was getting ready to do my man who actually put up this date. He was about to do him greasy. So he's telling me how, like, yeah, we're gonna change the lineup since he wanna be the headliner, or since he wanna blah blah blah, he won all his money, blah blah blah. Yeah, well, instead of him going on as the feature, he's going to go on as the headliner. But they weren't going to tell him that. So I'm like, why y'all have to tell me this? Because the other bull, he was like my man. So I'm like, So I could see that this tour is about to be over. This management is about to be over, and blah blah blah. So I knew I couldn't tell my man what they was about to do because then there wouldn't be any show at all. So what I did, I said, look, this is what I said. Listen, man, you got to watch out for these cats. Watch out for these cats because I don't know. I don't know. My trust level for these cats ain't really where it should be. And like y'all ain't been getting along. I don't know what these, they still acting funny, blah blah blah. Because by the time we did this show, they wasn't even speaking. All right. So as the show goes on, first of all, I tried to talk the other boy out of me. I was like, listen, man, well, you ain't got to do that. Like, why don't you just keep the lineup the way it is and everything will be all right? And you know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get this date over. We come back together after this, get everything straightened out. They wasn't trying to hear it. They wanted to do this slimy shit. So I was like, all right. Now, we was getting good money for the show. I think at this time, this was the most that I was ever going to get paid on the show. I'm like, y'all going to mess this up? So at the last minute, they go ahead and do the shit the way that they said that they was going to do it. And I was like, a fight damn near broke out. Like I said, no more management, no nothing. It was like total chaos. The show itself was a bust anyway. The promoter didn't do what they were supposed to do. It was hardly anybody there. Well, I mean, it was maybe like, let's say it was 100 people there. The venue was set up for like 500 people to be there. So that wasn't going to cut it. We still got paid. Yeah. We still got paid. So that wasn't a factor, but the whole shit got messed up. Now, none of these was my boys. They wasn't my homeboys or nothing like that. So afterwards, I was like, why did y'all do that? Like, y'all ain't have to do that. Like now y'all really, really at war. I had the whole thing on camera. So I'm like, so the boy wants he wants the footage of the camera. Footage of the whole thing. I was like, no, you're not getting that footage. Now he mad at me. Not the boy who set it up, the headliner boy. Because he wanted to take the whole situation even farther and put it on social media and blast and all. I said, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You're not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So now he's mad at me. So it was his manager. So now he's not managing me no more. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Because I don't want to be around y'all grimy motherfuckers anyway. So, yeah. It was an ugly situation. And this had everything to do with money. But I was like, from then on, well, come to find out, all of them cats was grimy. Really. All of them. Like head to toe, front to back, in and out. So I'm like, yeah, I could have took their side, one side over the other, but then the show wouldn't have went on. The show don't go on. We don't get our other half. So situations like that weigh on me. I'm like, had those been my people's, ain't no way. Ain't no way I wouldn't have been like, look, man, forget this money, forget about this show, forget about everything. But in a situation where nobody is that boy, that dude or whatever. Mm-mm. And the stuff that the personal stuff that they were saying about each other, they had already said to each other. So it wasn't no need to put no more fuel into that fire. But I'm like, you messed up the money over this? You We was getting money together. This is the first time in comedy I was really getting consistently paid. But all that got messed up. It's a bad situation. But yeah, I didn't let them say anything bad about each other though. Like Rob said this about Carl. Like, nah, it ain't like that, man. Don't get into all of that. Y'all all living in glass houses, throwing stones or whatever. So I ain't let all that go down. But yeah. What's the obligation of people to defend you? All of these cats rode in my cars. Like, if let me put it this way. I know for a fact that none of these cats have defended me before then, during then, or after that. You gotta know your opponent sometimes. But yeah, business is one thing, personal is another thing. There are times when you have to make an executive decision. Like, if you know that this situation is going to escalate to a level where cooler heads are not going to prevail, you got to make a decision. So when I ask, what's the obligation of somebody to defend you? Yeah, there are extenuating circumstances. There are circumstances where things might not be black and white. There are circumstances where, like, all right, let me ask y'all this. If you knew that that two people weren't getting along to the point where you knew that one person was so high-headed, so impulsive, and so violent that if they found out that somebody was talking about them, you knew that they would seriously go back and hurt them. Would it be a good idea for you to go back and tell them? Like, if I go tell this dude that such and such said this about him, he might go back and kill this guy. Like, sometimes it's that deep. It has happened. Oh, it's on site. On site can mean it can be um it can be it could be a fight, it could be an argument, or it could be something that changes everybody's life for the worse. You know, 25 to life type of thing. So sometimes you got to make the better decision. But if you have to make the better decision, why wouldn't you expect somebody else to make the better decision too? But you have to know your audience a little bit. T. Carey Wright says, I went through this with a group of singers that I sing with, and one who I don't. Words were said about the lone singer, and it wasn't worth arguing with my bandmate, even if true. That's what I'm saying. Every situation you have to take certain things into consideration. But in a situation where y'all are really brown like that, or it's your bloodline, or this is really your boy, your girl, this is really your people's. I don't see how you can just sit by idly by and let somebody mouth off, especially things that ain't true about them. Like, really? Huh, okay. Um, show business, show business will really change your whole view about what loyalty looks like, what dedication looks like, what teamwork looks like. It will. It will change. It will change your whole perception of that because it's almost like an extension of corporate America. Every man is in it for themselves, and you find that out the hard way. That's why when we hear about bands breaking up, you know, and people not working together anymore, I think I know where a lot of that comes from. It starts to make a lot of sense because it's like egos get in the way, and when egos get in the way, that opens the door for the little sinister plots to come through. So that's when the middlemen start, doing their thing. The people who divide everybody. T. Carey Wright says, other times I have shut a convo down. Fuck out of here with the BS. But it all depends on how it's said. I'm sorry, how what is said affects my moral or ethical compass. That's what I'm saying. The way that you know a person definitely has to be taken into consideration. It has to be. It literally has to be. But when you do know a person well, and that's your people, and you have broken bread with them, I don't see how you can't find it within yourself to make sure that the bad word isn't overshadowing any of the good that they do. I mean, because we have all seen that situation where we've all seen a situation where somebody gets something that we wanted and somebody else feels some kind of way about it. Like an awards show. You know how on these award shows, sometimes people win awards that we feel other people shouldn't have won. And of course, there's going to be controversy over that, and people are going to say things. Okay, on a professional level, it's okay, but on a personal level, we have to make better decisions. Like, hold on. One thing is for sure, my brothers and my sisters are going to be defended to the hilt no matter what. In business, hold on, let me see. Let me see. What happens after I throw myself into this? Because it's really taking the focus off of what we supposed to be doing in the first place. It's really taking all of that focus off. There are so many times when people have so much to say about somebody that they don't know. That's the way hate works. You don't even know this person, but you got so much to say. It seems weird, but it's consistent as hell. You don't know them, but you got all of this stuff to say about them, blah blah blah, and you trying to get the team involved. Okay, so what did you say when they said what they said about me? What did you say? Did you stick up for me? Did I stick up for you? Did you stick up for them? Carol says assumptions. Sometimes they're not even assumptions. Sometimes it's straight hate. Like you're not assuming something when you directly say something about somebody. When whether you know it's true or whether you know it's a lie. Sometimes people will put it out there. Sometimes they'll try to call themselves being subtle about it because they'll put probably in front of it. I I bet you he probably put his hands on his wife too. I bet you he probably don't make as much money as he says he does. You know how people always talk about people who have things. They want to know how much you really make. Not like people counting your pockets. Nothing like it, huh? There's nothing like well, Carol, you know how it is. You get a new car, people start talking. Like, damn, got a new car? It's nice too. Mm-hmm. Got a lot to say. So it could be a situation where they're either saying that you make more money than you make, or they're saying that you don't make as much as you are acting like you make. They don't know. Are they writing your checks? I don't know. Probably not. The person who writes your checks knows what you can afford and what you can't. Of course, they may not know other things that you have going on. But well, what did you say when they said what they were saying about me? What was you saying? Hmm. Yeah, because I've had people that I thought I was cool with come back and tell me that such and such was saying this, that, and the third. And I know. And I asked him, I said, so what did you say? Because, I asked the question. What did you say when they said that? Oh, well, I don't think they really knew that me and you was cool. So I let them just go ahead and say what they said because I knew I was going to come back and tell you. Uh-huh. In my mind, that equals up to you probably laughed about what they said, joined in with them, maybe even offered even more information. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. Is it true? I don't think so. I mean, is it true? I don't know. I can't say for sure. But that's what it sounds like to me. It's a crazy situation. But do we obligate our people to speak up? I know I would speak up for mine. I know other people, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes, the little scaredy cat thing kicks in. There are a lot of different ways that this thing gets swung. Sometimes we just have to make the decision that we're going to do something about whatever. You know, if somebody else won't defend us, at least don't put us in a situation where we can't defend ourselves. That's what at least the rap says. It doesn't always mean that you can get more information by inviting more conversation. That's true. But what are you getting the information for? Like, what are you going to do with the information? Like, okay, for example, if you let somebody go ahead and rant and rave and talk about somebody that you cool with like that. All right, so you got all the information. You let them go ahead and empty the box on all of their little spilled tea and all of that. But now what? So you go back and you tell the person what was said. Are you riding with them or not? Are you devising a plan? Like, all right, now somebody just throwing dirt on your name is one thing, but somebody plotting against you is a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing. Like in the situation that I spoke about earlier with the whole management, the whole tour thing, the only thing that was being switched up was the lineup. There wasn't really nothing. There wasn't really nothing to be all bent out of shape about. Okay, so you going on last. You still getting paid what you were supposed to get paid. But because tensions were flaring so much, switching the lineup Switching the lineup was like was seen as a form of disrespect. So it's like, what are you going to ride or not? Are you a witness or are you a suspect? Mia Cunningham says, I had a coworker whose husband bought her a really nice, expensive car and bought a beautiful home for his family. People swore up and down to do all of that for her. Yeah. Black people just can't. They can't hustle. They can't legally hustle on the side. For all we know, he was selling paparazzi jewelry and Ubering. You don't know. Naturalista Rap says, I usually want to see how far they will go. Okay. 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 If you know that somebody is planning to hurt somebody else, I think you have to say something for safety's sake. For safety's sake. So the little other gossipy things like that, you could make a decision on that for yourself. Because it might, I don't think it's gonna stop the person who gossips. You ain't gonna stop that. You might stop it for that day. And that day stopping it might be good enough for you and yours. I ain't mad at it. But we do need to understand that it's not going to stop anything in the long run. We need to understand that. We definitely need to understand that. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout, birthday shout, birthday shout out to do. Some people were born on this glorious last day of February 28th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Nettie Long. Nettie Long, happy birthday to you. And she's raising money for the Alzheimer's Association, fundraising for Alzheimer's Association. And also Wanda Holiday, turning 58 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Yojani Almonte, turning 40 years old today. And Rosa Laura, turning 34 years old today. And my girl Darlene Mabin, happy birthday to you. And Georgia Gilmore turning 55 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Monica Green, happy birthday to you. And Gerald Chavis, happy birthday to you. And last but not least, my man going all the way back to like the 1992, my man Alfred Peace, Newark's finest, turning 51 years old today. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious February 28th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally, all of y'all go ahead and turn up. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen, y'all. Listen, yo, what was you saying to them when they were saying all of that greasy stuff that they were saying about me? Did you listen and ride? Did you run and hide and act like you was covering your ears and eyes? Did you represent like you was heaven sent, like you was the angel on my shoulder, making sure that you hold the brother down? I'm glad that you was around and I made sure that you didn't get to clown me. Well, well, like any other situation, you have to know your audience. You have to know your audience. But when it comes down to it, you need to know who will ride for you the same way that you need to know who you need to ride for. Because the two things aren't always equally yoked. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't ride, you should never ride for anybody that wouldn't ride for you. Because you never know who might ride for you in the background. Just like just like who which one of y'all said that some people that y'all were just associated with took up for you when somebody was talking crazy. Which one of y'all said that? Anyway, I can relate to that. I've even seen situations where enemies said, nah, he might be this, that, and the third, but he ain't that. He ain't that. He ain't that. No, we ain't gonna be able to get him on that. But we gonna get him on this. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I said my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, and love y'all right back to life. Wait a minute, hold on, hold on. And for my YouTubers, you know just how we do, but thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Peace. And y'all had the peace.